Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for this AOSCAN presentation. We are just coming off of the 2025 Solex Days of Discovery in Utah, where we were with our Solex family, and about 80 of our team members were there with us. It was such an amazing time. And we are on fire to share AOSCAN with you and all that Solex has to offer because it is such an incredibly powerful tool. We spent the whole weekend hearing stories from people of how this technology has changed their lives. So, we're going to share a few stories with you tonight and just go over everything that AOSCAN can do. My name is Steph Warner. I am a QLA, Quantum Living Advocate with Solex, and I have been using AOSCAN for the past 5 years. And I say that I witness miracles for a living because I really do. I hear the most incredible stories about how this has changed people's lives. And I am joined tonight by my dear friend, Juliana Malilly. Juliana, you want to say hi?
Hi, great to be with you all tonight. This has been life-changing for us. Otherwise, we'd be doing something else with our time. It
Mm.
really is awesome.
Okay, so let's get started. AOSCAN technology is both a bioresonance scanner that scans the sound of your voice and a bioenergetic scanner that scans your bioenergetic field. It is also a frequency generator. So it does a lot of different things. We're going to dive into all of those details tonight. But first, I want to have you guys hear from our founder, Lauren Swenson, on his story of how the AO scan came to be.
We adopted our son, Michael, at 9 months old. And Michael came with a pre-existing condition called cerebral palsy. As Michael started to grow over the next few years, the cerebral palsy became, it was evident he was headed towards that direction to where a wheelchair would be coming up pretty soon. As parents, like any parents, we just wanted Michael to have the best life possible. And so we traveled to Mexico, England, Germany, various places here in the United States to look at therapies for children with cerebral palsy to see if we could improve his quality of life. And everywhere we went, we were met with pretty much the same explanation. There is no cure for cerebral palsy. And as parents, that wasn't good enough. We felt like there had to be something more. There had to be something greater that could help. And when we went out of the country, Germany specifically, Mexico, even one trip to Japan, there was more hope there. There were more things in the works. There were more therapies available. And so that allowed me to start looking into different directions. Now, this is back in the 80s. The internet wasn't around. And so we were going to trade shows. We would go to health shows and health fairs. And I became introduced to a book called Mega Brain by Michael Hutchings. And that book became my new Bible, at least as far as it came for therapies for my son, Michael. And in there, through that book, I came across different therapies. Dr. Clark was working with spinning a child in a chair to help develop the inner ear. And he found that this was helping with all sorts of neurological issues. Dr. Persinger was using lights and different flashing lights to the eyes to help stimulate left and right brain connection. And then Dr. Patterson, a neurosurgeon, was developing microcurrent that would be applied just behind the ear or to the earlobe that was helping the brain create new neural pathways. Well, these three things were pretty important to me. And so as we looked into this and started working on this, we eventually developed a machine that later became known as the theta chamber. And Michael was our first recipient of that technology. It was the next 6 months that were magical. In those next 6 months, Michael's mobility became almost normal. He transitioned from a handicapped school to a normal school. And Michael is now 40 years old, will be 40 this June, and is a second degree black belt, speaks multiple languages to some degree or another. And physically, you would have never known that Michael ever had cerebral palsy. That whole experience was life changing for our family. And I realized at that time that there were things that we didn't know here. And that led me on this journey, which has brought me to where we are today in 2022. 2008, my wife and I were in China attending a medical convention, and there was a booth there from Russia that had developed a scanner that scanned the body through frequencies through the brain. Well, this was my new real big interest. And we went to their booth, we experienced a scan, a digital body scan, and it nailed us. It showed us everything that was wrong or awry in our bodies to the T. Well, we later worked with that company and acquired the rights to bring that to the United States. And we did that until about 2012. And then when technology had advanced, in other words, Windows 10 came available, the software wouldn't be stable anymore. And so over the next 2 to 3 years, we rewrote all of that software, all of their information on today's technology and for today's platform and software. And it became the AOSCAN. And we've been promoting the AOSCAN since 2012. And it was a big system. It was a $30,000 scanner that was in a doctor's office, and you'd go in and you'd sit there and you'd be there anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, depending on your scan, based on the old technology. Well, we were able to bring that technology to where we could get it done with much smaller transducers, and we could do it in about 45 minutes to an hour. Well, part of that scanner was Innervoice, and the Innervoice is where we record about 10 to 20 seconds of your voice, and we analyze 2,000 frequencies over 12 notes. And we're looking for frequencies that are out of range, way high or way low. And as you listen to those frequencies played back in your headset, it helps with your emotions, which helps with some of the other physical issues you'd be dealing with. But we thought that that would be an amazing tool to put into the hands of as many people as we can. If you can get a hold of your emotions, then your physical issues aren't as dramatic and you're able to deal with them better. And so we started working with a mobile device that just had the Innervoice portion of the scanner on it. Well, as that became ready to go to market, we realized, well, maybe we can add a little bit more of the other scanner to this. And we added a little bit of vitals and a little bit of comprehensive. And we introduced it. And that went for about a year and a half. And then we had people come to us and say, we need to get this out to the masses. And that's how Solex came to be. The full $30,000 scanner in your hand that you can now take and share with the world.
We love that message from Lauren about the rich history of how Solex began and just how long this frequency technology has actually been in existence. I don't know if some of you have heard of frequency technology before, but it actually has been around since the 1980s. Even before that, Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein were talking about how the future of medicine would be the medicine of frequencies. So here we are today. We now have this incredibly powerful scanner that is a software based in the cloud that you can access on any phone, tablet, or computer. So we want to hear from you guys in the chat. What are some health challenges that you're dealing with? Some emotional challenges, maybe some physical challenges that you are experiencing, maybe your clients are experiencing, because we will go over how the AO scan can help to really potentially be a solution for some of those problems. So please share with us in the chat if you have anything in particular that you are looking to find a solution for. Okay. Everything is energy. Fundamentally, everything in the whole entire universe is energy, right? We are powered by biochemical processes that generate and utilize energy. Our heart, brain, and other organs produce measurable electrical activity. And because of this, our body responds very well to frequency therapy. The AO scan has, I think, like 15 different programs now. When we first started this process, when the company launched in January of 2021, there was only 4 programs available in the AO scan. And right now, you can use it to not only scan you, but also to generate frequencies to help support the body's natural healing process. And there's so many different ways that you can dive into the root cause of what may be going on with some of the symptoms that you're experiencing. And this is just the amazing list of what is available to you at the tap of a button. So, the most powerful program that is available on AOSCAN is Innervoice. It is so incredible that this is the very first program that they wanted to incorporate into the AOSCAN. They thought that they were just going to offer this program alone. That's how powerful it is because it addresses the underlying emotional causes of health issues and imbalances. It's just a simple 10-second scan of the sound of your voice. So you literally speak into your phone or you speak into your computer and it records the sound of your voice. And when that video was made, that interview with Lauren was made, I think that was 3 years ago now. He said that 2,000 frequencies were analyzed in the sound of your voice, but they have made this program even more precise, and it now analyzes over 10,000 frequencies in the sound of your voice. And then it identifies the top three notes that are the highest out of range, and the one note that is the lowest out of range. And what it does is it produces custom sound therapy files for your specific emotional needs. So it's going to identify the top four emotions that are most out of range for you. Maybe that's sadness, maybe that's anger, repetitive thinking, feeling unloved, things of that nature. And then that sound therapy, which now, as of just this past weekend, 12 brand new songs have been released that were composed specifically for the AOSCAN Inner Voice program. And these songs, the whole entire song is the frequency. Every single note from A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, all the way through to G now has a song that is written in that note with very specific instruments that go along with those specific emotional imbalances that are correlated with those notes in your voice. So when you're listening to it, everyone is just saying now, like the music has always been powerful. It has always, we have just amazing testimonials that I'll share with you here in a minute. But now these songs are even more powerful because every single note and tune of that song is the frequency. And it is also playing differently in the left and right ear to help with brain balancing and coherence. So wearing headphones or earbuds while listening to it is very important. Here's just one testimonial from someone who's been using a inner voice. This is Tracy. She had lived in fight or flight her entire life due to childhood trauma. With inner voice, it was taking her out of it. Her OCD is getting better and better. She's finally understanding what it's like to relax. This is a life changer. And that's aside from being able to sleep soundly for the first time ever. Who do you know who is dealing with, situations like this? There are so many people that are stressed, having difficulty sleeping, and luckily, Inner Voice was able to help Tracy. Here's another testimonial from somebody that had a bad shoulder injury with multiple tears and a dislocation. They had an MRI and they were floored when they saw all the same things on their scan. They also had intense relief and release listening to Inner Voice, and it brought home how deeply it was creating change. Those gains just kept coming from Inner Voice with continued use. And since listening, Stephanie has felt like she has more control over her anxious feelings. There have already been a few times that she's noticed that a panic attack is starting. She'll play her songs and she can immediately feel the tension leaving her body. She feels like she always has a tool with her to help keep her body and mind at peace. Because this is accessible from anywhere with Wi-Fi or internet access, and we are always carrying our devices around with us, you really can use it anytime, even in emergency situations. So there was a small study done of a group of 10 people who listened to Inner Voice for just 21 days, and they saw an overall improvement of 54% after just the 3 weeks with improvement in depression, decrease in physical pain, decrease in anxiety, and better sleep. This really is so powerful, and you can see why they wanted this to be the first program to introduce to the world. But they didn't just stop there. Juliana is now going to share about MindSync and several other programs.
This is a wonderful way to reprogram your subconscious. If you've been into holistic healing at all, you've learned that we need to get to the root cause. And the root of the root is a frequency, and so often our belief systems. So we can change these with MindSync, and you can create these custom I am affirmations in your own voice. And then as you record these, you can add customized music. And then when you listen back to your own voice and this music, it helps to get into a deeper layer of your subconscious so that your body and your mind absorb it as truth. And you're gently reprogramming yourself for growth, for improvement, for even faith, for things that you didn't believe were possible before. It is life-changing. I can even testify to that. This last weekend, I spoke on a stage and there were 600 people. If you knew me from my youth, you would be like, there's no way. I was the shy girl. I had social anxiety. But the last few years, I've been using Innervoice and MindSync, and it's transformed how I see myself. I didn't have any fear or anxiety before I got on that stage. I'm still like in awe of how that's changed my life. This is an amazing program. So you can add this, any one of these things we're talking about tonight, you can add into a wellness practice, and you can even charge for these scans, whether it's Innervoice or MindSync. This is an easy way to help clients or your family do the same to reprogram their subconscious. You can add this to different treatments you're doing. And again, it's relaxing, it's immersive, and very therapeutic. So you just collect their voice recordings in person or from a distance, and then you can do the scan and email them the results, and they can listen to it as much as they want. So this it can be huge in any wellness practice because between appointments, now they have a therapy that they can use to be improving their lives. We also have a supplement library. This is where you can create a database of the frequencies of different supplements that you have. You can scan any supplement into the system, and then the AOSCAN will capture that energy signature. And then you can scan yourself to find out which supplements are in resonance with yourself or for an individual that you're supporting. This is all about connecting the dots. So you're looking at the reports and then you're helping to create some protocols that will really support them. It's just amazing. At the touch of a button, a quick scan, and you can see, oh my goodness, these are the supplements that are in resonance for me today versus taking 20 because you're not positive on what I should be taking. Now you know exactly what is in resonance and what your body will most receive for that day. Sephi is another program. Now, if you're already starting to lose track of these programs, I want you to focus on just one. Any one of these has extreme value. And sometimes people will get started and only use one. So I'm going to explore another room. These are like different wellness rooms. Pretend we're going into a library, and this is like you're seeing tons of books, thousands of books, and this is where you can go in and pick out something specific. Maybe it's headaches, or maybe it's a homeopathic. There's all these different frequency programs that are specific to create specific balances. So we have, you see this lovely list here, like quantum reach is positive affirmations. Quantum frequency is about illnesses and ailments. If you have a symptom, it is, I'm sure something or something similar is already listed there. There's over 600, I believe. And there's quantum affirmations, Bach flower remedies at the touch of a button. Your quantum chakras, let's say you see on your report that a certain chakra is out of balance, then you can immediately start to broadcast affirming frequencies to those chakras. Over 300 homeopathic remedies. There's a different area for detoxing and miasms. And then we even have these programmable discs where you can use Sephi dot frequencies. And it keeps expanding. I feel like I'm rattling these off. But the beauty of this is that it will continue to grow without costing you more. Like we just got this upgrade on Innervoice, and all the time they're adding more Sephi frequencies so that we can be supported very specifically in how we need it. This is a peek into the homeoenergetics group of frequencies, all about detoxing. I love that question. Earlier, it sounds like you guys are looking to detox. We have these specific frequencies here, and these are very robust frequencies. There's more energetic layers to these. So you don't want to run like 10 of these at the same time, like two or three max, because as you're receiving this frequency energy, it's helping the body to start those processes, especially as you do this consistent over different days. And then it's just signaling the body, okay, let's detox that Lyme, detoxing Lyme on a frequency level. So we're addressing it at the deepest level. And over time, let's just see what the results are. We've seen some phenomenal results. More with Sephi. Again, this is 1,000+ frequencies. This can support just about anything you're going through, whether it is a physical illness or emotional. There's so much to address with Sephi, and you can create customized frequency lists. So let's say you're going through menopause, you can create a number of frequencies that will support you through that journey. And you can also scan at the touch of a button, scan yourself or someone else to find out what they need, what would best support them. And you can also imprint things like water or even jewelry. You can imprint with frequencies so that they're receiving them on multiple levels. Or, of course, you can broadcast them. We also have homeopathy. Again, and this, I wish I had time to like become an expert on homeopathy, but I have a cheat sheet in a sense. I can search by symptom, or I can also do a scan to find out which ones are most in resonance in that moment. Then you can create custom remedies at the tap of a button for a fraction of the cost. You can create your own homeopathy at home. Here is a great testimony from Angela. She says that her best testimonial is with her migraines when she's gotten them. It's a 3 days in a dark room, lots of medication due to nausea, broken vision, and I cry and end up in the fetal position. With my scanner, I hit migraine, and within minutes, the broken vision is gone. And after 10 minutes, it's as if I never had one. I also imprint a Sephi dot to stop any reoccurring migraine. I'm so grateful and appreciate not losing days in my life and not having to take strong medication. I have so many other stories, but for me, this is a life changer. Thank you. It's true. This is one of my favorite things about what we do is getting to hear these testimonies on a daily or weekly basis. So again, there are so many results. Here's one, a child with bladder troubles, and this was she was responding to her practitioner saying for the first time in a long time, her daughter fell asleep without having to pee 500 times. So whatever you did worked. And she simply broadcasted these specific frequencies to this girl from a distance. How easy is that? I know it's kind of mind blowing. If this is the first time you're hearing it, you might be like, "Wait, what?" That's how I was, but it's actually possible now. We also have another feature called multi-scan. If you're like when once you start understanding the technology and you're scanning and optimizing, you're like, "Well, how can I help more people?" And you can do up to 16 different people at one time, whether these are clients or family members. One tap of the button scans and optimizes everyone. And then you can even email the reports. There's also multicast, again, doing many people at the same time. This is where we use those specific frequencies, like I was just talking about Sephi. And maybe one family member has menopause, another one has migraines, another one has digestive problems. You can create these specific programs, broadcast to them, and you don't have to set it up every time. Now you can do up to 16 people at the same time. And here's another one from Heather. She says, I have had many testimonials with AOSCAN, but the most recent was in March when the allergy season began. I had the same symptoms I always have with a runny nose and sneezing. Using my custom playlist for allergies, it cleared me right up. When I broadcast through the new multicast, my symptoms were gone and they didn't come back. So she was doing multiple people at the same time, and yet it resolved her issues with allergies. The AO tune is another. There's so many things, y'all. Like just it's like pick the one thing that you're like, I need to start pushing a button and seeing this result. But this is another one. This is like having a set of 37 tuning forks. If you've been in energy healing for a while, you know tuning forks are beautiful therapy on the body. Well, now we have these little speakers that act as a tuning fork. And now within these different Sephi categories, you have these, you can tap a button and then it will start to create that tuning ability to your body and helping literally retune your body. This is an application that's physically on the body.
Yeah, thank you so much, Juliana, for sharing all of those incredible programs. I know that it's a lot, but again, it's something where you get to have the customization and the choice, and it empowers you to take your health back into your hands in a way that best suits you, your family, your friends, your clients, whoever it is that needs the support. It truly is a bio-individuality approach because each of us is unique in our biological makeup in our energy fields, and it helps you to understand you and your client's unique blueprint, right? Our energy fields and everything that is going on inside of our body is dictated by energy. AOSCAN is really designed to educate you on the energetic state of your being. It is not diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases, ailments, or symptoms, um, but it helps to show you where those energetic imbalances are present and how they might be contributing to the things that you're experiencing. So, I'm going to go over the vital scan here real quick. So, inner voice focuses on the sound of your voice and your emotional state. The vital scan is like doing a blood biology scan. It's going to scan for all of these energetic imbalances that you see here. And then it gives you a report telling you what is in balance or what is out of balance. But while you are scanning, it instantaneously sends optimizing frequencies. So you are getting the therapeutic benefits of balancing frequencies in the same amount of time that it takes to scan. Some of these scans, like the Innervoice, take just about 10 seconds. Easy scan takes about 5 minutes. Vital scan, I would say, takes about 2 minutes. And this is what a vitals report looks like. So this is the before and this is the after, where we see all of these items that the scan identified as being out of balance. And then it sends the optimizing frequencies, and now these items are back in balance. And what does this mean? These are all like viruses. This just means the energy of that virus or something similar to it was identified in your body, in your biofield, and then the frequencies are helping to cancel out that frequency. Becky is so thankful to have the scanner because the last 2 years have been challenging personally. Having the inner voice at least once daily helped her to stay calm and grounded. And the vital scan helped her look at the energies that were out of balance before they became problematic. And this she loved so much because it helped her to stay physically healthy. While those are just two scans, they have powerful results keeping her healthy physically and emotionally. And this is some more testimonials of people who have just been blown away that their blood test showed up the same as their AO scan, or that they had some pretty severe symptoms and regained their sense of smell and taste. Heart palpitations were gone, intense migraine disappeared, pulse oxygen went from 91 to 99, all kinds of amazing outcomes just from frequencies alone. Now, the comprehensive scan, so we've done the emotional side, we've done the biology side, now we're getting into the physical anatomy and identifying where those energetic imbalances are present. And this is what that comprehensive report looks like. It can look pretty overwhelming, but luckily, in the easy scan, which is what I recommend and what I do every day, you get your inner voice, your vitals, and your comprehensive done all in one. One tap of a button does that for you in just a few minutes. You get to see the reports, and it's not going to show you all the things here that are in the greens, that are balanced in the blues. You're just going to see these double reds. So it's just going to pull out the information that you most need to see for the things that need the most support in that moment. AOSCAN truly is a full spectrum wellness solution. It empowers you to take your health back into your hands. It is safe and non-invasive. Anyone from babies and pregnant women all the way up through my 102-year-old grandfather can use this safely. It's handheld, portable on most devices, very affordable, comprehensive, truly a whole body bioresonance scanner and frequency generator. And we love it so much. And that's why we are here sharing it with you. But wait, there is more. You can not just scan humans, also, you can also scan pets, dogs, cats, and horses. You can do vital scan on all three of those animals. And just as of this last weekend, you can also do comprehensive, that anatomy scan on dogs and cats. So lots of different ways you really can support the whole entire family, even your fur babies. So this is one of our team practitioners who has been a registered holistic nutritionist and energy medicine practitioner for 12 years. She's worked with lots of different modalities, and AOSCAN is her favorite. She's significantly grown her business by working with groups of people for all, and she has balancing programs for things like stress and anxiety, hormone balancing, seasonal reactions, monthly memberships. Just this technology truly is amazing, and there's so many different ways that you can use it. It's a preventative health tool. We are constantly inundated with negative energies in our environments, non-native EMFs, cellular, Wi-Fi, even other people's negative emotional energies can affect us. And imagine being able to put this like protective energetic bubble around you so that you can prevent all of those energies from affecting you physically. So, Juliana, we've told them everything that we can about AOSCAN. How do they join our community and why should they?
It's true. Well, we do have even more than this because what is like more technology? We're all connected to technology, but we want more than that. We want support as we go through. And with that, with all this comes a community. So here's a little peek into the core of our community. Our mission is to raise the vibration of the planet by helping people put their health back into their hands with quantum technology tools from Solex. And our vision is to help every person with the AOSCAN technology achieve the torus balance between spirit, mind, and body to improve your health and well-being and raise the vibration of the planet. We do at first when we created this like vision, I was like, what really? And now I'm seeing it. We're seeing this happen for thousands of people. And in our community, we are cultivating high vibe, wise, unique, and beautiful humans, leading with compassion and integrity to make this world a healthier and happier place. We are over 2,000 worldwide. We need to update this slide, and it's growing all the time. We are leading a movement, and I was going to say health freedom empowerment and frequency wellness. This is going to lead the future of healthcare. It's just who wants to do it. And by getting started, you're naturally actually going to become one of those leaders as you start to use all that we have. So here is the investment. You're like, what's the bottom line? It's $149 per month, less than $5 a day. And that is for everyone. Unlimited, how many people you can support, family, friends, clients, community, locations. It's unlimited. And if you want to get started, which we highly recommend, even if you're kind of, I was on the fence. I honestly, when Steph introduced this to me, I was like, I don't know. I don't know about this. It sounds so different. But I risked towards trying it out, and then I was dedicated to using it on a regular basis. I had life-changing experience. In 5 days, severe vertigo was gone for me. And we want to help you get breakthroughs. This is not some subscription you forget about. We want to make sure this is something that is empowering your life on a regular basis. So that those are the basics right there. Um,
Okay, yes, thank you
yeah.
everyone so much
Yeah.
for joining our presentation. We would like to open it up to any questions that you guys have now. So if you have a question, either please raise your hand or put it in the chat so that we can see you and try to connect with everybody in order.
Yeah. And check out Jennifer's question, Steph. Um, because like my first, as I'm reading through this, this is the part of the challenge is we want to say the question is it diagnostic? Because we really want to see am I diagnosed with this or that? And is it now or is it from past? Regardless of it being something from the past or now, either way, it needs to be addressed. And by doing the frequencies on a regular basis, that's very helpful. But if you're seeing reds, let's say if it's continually out of balance, then there may be outside things that we need to do to support those areas of the body. But besides the scanning and optimization, I really recommend creating that Sephi playlist and using that on a regular basis to see how that can affect the person or the situation.
Yeah, and it looks like Jennifer was also asking about Lyme, mold, illness, and parasites previously. If you're looking for a recommendation for those, all of those homeoenergetics detox frequencies can be very supportive because each of those frequencies, let's say mold detox, for example, has a whole list of frequencies that you are receiving when you broadcast that particular program. So it's going to have frequencies to open up your lymphatic system. It's going to have frequencies to help eradicate the energy of mold in your body. And I'm somebody who experienced severe mold illness several years ago. And I can tell you that even if you detox the physical mold, right, those mycotoxins, you get them out of your body, the energy of the mold leaves an imprint. Parasites leave an energetic imprint in your body. Lyme, bacteria, all of these things can leave energetic imprints in your body. So you really need frequencies to help get that energy out because what those energetic imprints do is attract more of that into your life. Like attracts like when it comes to energy and frequencies. And so when you have frequencies of imbalances, you are actually attracting more of that. So you really want to use energy in a positive way to turn those imbalances back into balances and get those energies out of your body. Um, so yeah,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
that
and
answers Kesia's question as well. Pretty much everything that I said would apply to you as well.
yeah, and that's going to add, there's certain things that help with emotional balancing. And we tend to go straight for the Lyme or straight for the symptoms, right? And want to just detox that. But sometimes there are some trauma that's keeping our body in fight or flight. And that underlying cause, that's where the inner voice is extremely powerful for it's like an energy healing, releasing of trapped emotions on autopilot. Uh, I don't have anything better. And I used to be a full-time energy healer. That was all I did. But so often those things can keep our body in this dysregulated state so that we're not able to fully detox. So we also want to always be conscious of addressing the emotional aspect of a person as well as, of course, the physical symptoms.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself. I completely agree. Does anybody else have any questions that they want to share? I'm not seeing any hands raised. Feel free to add it to the chat. Otherwise, we
Go
will.
go for it because
Uh,
we're all here live. If you guys have a question or you're curious about something, we'd love to answer.
okay. Well, I'm not seeing anything else. So thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. Please reach out to the person who introduced you to AOSCAN and talk to them about it if you're considering joining, if you have any other questions. And we hope to see you joining our team very soon.
Mhm.
All right. Have
Thank
a good
you.
night.
Thank you for
Bye.
being here tonight.